This movie was brought to you by DwayneWright.com, FileMaker Framework Solutions, virtual one-on-one FileMaker training, consulting, and custom design services. For more information, please visit www.DwayneWright.com. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne Wright of DwayneWright.com, and in this movie we're going to talk about the Companies module inside of InBizness Basic CRM. So here from the main screen, we're going to go ahead and launch the Companies module from this button. And now we're looking at Form View. We do have record navigation, record operation actions, including creating a new record, deleting a record, entering find mode. If you're in find mode, you can click this button again to perform the find, showing all the records after a found set, going to list view, printing the current record, opening up a new window, and navigating back to the home screen. We do have a collection of buttons here, and these are used to add related records. So you can create a related activity, correspondence, invoice, or purchase order, and it will be tagged to this company ID, and therefore they will be linked. Over here we have a pull-down menu for navigation to other modules, so you can go to modules from the main screen, this pull-down menu, or of course the navigation custom menu. In this area we have a quick search screen where you can type in settings in here and automatically see matching records across. So like if we were going to type in, say, A, N, C, you can see how our number of matching records across a number of values will come across. Let's try that again. Let's go ahead and say P, oops, click into the field, P, E, and see how we have a number of different PE options. Here we have Perth, and over here we have Peacock. So if we were going to go ahead and type in an A, you can see the Perth was gone and just the Peacock matching record is found. And again, this is list view. We have regular Rolodex type push buttons which will filter the list. And then we can click on this icon to go to form view again. Now we have our basic information here, like the company name, a primary contact, phone, type of company, which is client, lead, or vendor, a pricing level, whether they're active or not, and of course their auto-generated company ID. Now the bottom section of the Companies module, and you'll see this consistent in most of the InBizness modules, is a highly tabbed interface. Tabs allow you to have multiple layers on top of a screen to show different levels of information. So in the very first tab, which is called General, has both the shipping and billing information for a particular company, payment details, and other info. Down here you can see alternate contacts, and you click on a magnifying glass to see more information or add more information about a particular contact. We have alternate phone numbers that you can add, and then of course a overall notes section. The second tab is More Info, which basically has a larger view of the alternate contacts and alternate phone number information, and does have alternate address information as well. Our very next tab is called the Products tab, and it's something unique to any of the CRM packages that I've produced in the past. What it allows you to do is to find products that are linked to a particular company. This may be products that they purchase on a regular basis, or products they have expressed an interest in. And what it allows you to do is to put down comments and possibly custom pricing for that particular customer. So what you can do is say, I want to order maybe 2 of these and 1 of these. And then when I click on Create Invoice, it'll create a new invoice, link it to that company record, bring across just these items that you've put an order quantity in, and if there is a customer price, it'll use that as the price on the invoice. If there's not, it will use the default price. So let's go ahead and click on Create Invoice. And there you go. It came right across. Now, you could have in the Companies module vendors. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And so there you have Create Purchase Orders. And it works basically the same way. You would say, these are the things that I'm ordering. These are the special prices that that vendor has for me. That type of thing. And then click on Create Purchase. And then down here you do have where you can click on Add Linked Product. This brings up a dialog box showing all the products in your products table. Allows you to select which ones that you want to link to a particular company and then go from there. Now I do want to say you can create invoices the traditional way by clicking Create Invoice up here, and that creates an invoice with no line items whatsoever, no default pricing. So that traditional method works just as well as this method, only I believe this method, the products create invoice method, does give you quite a bit more power in a company situation where you have special pricing on products. Now our fourth and fifth tabs inside of the companies module are pretty self-explanatory. All they do in the fourth tab is show you the invoices that you have for a particular company, and the fifth tab shows you the purchase orders that you may have for a particular company. Clicking on the magnifying glass for either or will take you to that transaction record. Next up, the tab we have is the Activities tab. Now this is pretty much traditional what I've used in the Activities tabs in other databases, except for it has one important twist, which is called Activity Groups. So here you can see a listing of activities that we have for a particular company, and these can be any type of different transaction. And again, clicking on the magnifying glass will allow you to drill down to that transaction, find out more information, or possibly even edit it. So let's go ahead and find a record that has no activities. There we go. Actually, let's go to a different one. Alright, so here we have Meridian Products. So I can create a new linked activity. So I clicked on this button and say, call about this or that. And then here I can put in whether or not they called in, called out, whether it was an email. And in this case, let's just say I'm recording something that happened in the past. So I'm going to say called in, and I'm going to make that something that happened yesterday. And I'm going to give that a status as closed. So now I'm recording an activity that happened in the past. Now I can add another linked activity. Sent email to client about yesterday's call. And we'll say that was an email. Again, that was closed. I'm recording something that happened in the past, but it just did happen. So again, it becomes part of the living history of that particular client. Now I'm going to do something a little different, and that is create an activity group batch transaction. So in here we have a pull-down menu. This will show you groupings of activities that pertain to this particular module. So if I click on here, I'll see, well, there's a Happy New Year and Initial Lead Follow-up. I'm going to choose Initial Lead Follow-up. You get a confirmation dialog box saying, do I want to add these events? I'll say yes. Now you can see that it's created two new open events. Schedule a day for the follow-up activity and organize the notes. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, I'm going to go ahead and set this date for, let's say January 10th of 2010. That's the day that I'm going to schedule to do a follow-up. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to organize my notes one day earlier. Hit my enter key, and there they are. They're both open. Now, the activity groups module is very basic right now. When I've done it before in the past with my property manager and the InBizness real estate project, they have more detail underneath. So we can add that level of complexity, but right now when you create a batch activity, unless you set that batch activity to automatically go to a staff member, it isn't in there. And in these kind of future activities, I want someone to be responsible. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this item, and assign it to myself. Now these activities that are in the future that are linked to this customer are also linked to myself. I can go into the staff module, pull up my record, take a look at next month, And then you can see there's a set of activities, including the ones that I sent for the 9th and 10th for this particular record. And there you go, Meridian Products. Okay, moving right along, let's close this dialog box. Let's jump back to our companies module. And we have described the general, more info, products, invoices, purchase orders, and activities. Let's go ahead and talk about our correspondence module. Here you can create letters, emails, that type of thing that you want to send to a particular client. Let's click on Add Link to Correspondence. Let's say that's a letter. It's a new one. I want to go ahead and log that to myself. It already has the customer information. I want to hit in a salutation and a sign off. Great talking with you can be the title. And then I'm going to go ahead and use one of my templates across here. Oh, let's use a better one. There we go. And these templates will have all kinds of different information about, what you want in that letter. I just put in some basic ones. And then we can preview to see what our letter looks like as it goes across. And then, of course, you can print the letter out. So that's creating a link to correspondence. And you can see that afterwards, again, it becomes part of the company history. So let's go ahead and finish this up now. We have 2 remaining tabs. These are files that I can link to a particular company record, and then background information, which is used mostly for auditing. Say like I changed the name of the company. It'll record what the original name of the company was and what I've changed it to. Let's change that back. That's a very basic level of auditing that I've added inside of here. And again, FileMaker is used to create InBizness Basic CRM, and it is sold open, so you can change these as necessary. And then, of course, adding files. Let's just go ahead and click on Add Linked File. This file, you can give it a type. Give it comments. I'm going to click on Add Item. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's just use one of these. Let's just use this and say instead of being a movie, it is a picture. And of course that dialog box that came up, I could navigate to any part of the thing on my hard drive. And you click Submit, and now that file is linked to that particular company record, and we can pull it up when we need to, export it back out, and take a look at it. So that is all the major modules of the company section. And if you have any questions or comments, please, I would love to hear from you. Do you have questions or comments about the video you just saw? Please feel free to email me at info@dwaynewright.com. Thank you.